Hello, yoga friends. This is a short, gentle yoga practice exploring the side body. It's going to include some strength building as well as stretching of the side body, and also some planks, which help to build core stability. If you would like to come with me and the Spotify playlist, you can go ahead and hit play now. Otherwise, we're going to meet in a seated position on the mat or on a chair. Sitting up nice and tall, I just want you to see when you breathe if you can bring a little bit of opening into the rib cage and into your side body. So you could feel free to close your eyes or keep your eyes in a soft gaze. Come into ocean breath, which is a nice gentle constriction in the back of the throat on your exhalation. Okay, we're going to bring our hands down on the tops of our legs and then begin to warm up the spine by bringing your body side to side. You could look around. Warming up your neck. And then let's bring it back to center. We're going to take our arms up. You could grab your opposite wrist or one wrist with your index finger and your thumb, and then just bring it over, and then maybe just curl your spine in a little bit so that you feel a stretch all along your rib cage. So here it's a little bit of a C curve in the upper body. Take a deep breath in. You could come back to center and grab the other wrist, little C curve over. Breathe. Bring it back to center. Let's bring our hands down. We're going to take our spine super long. One hand comes over to the opposite knee, and then look over one shoulder. And then notice that I'm looking over that back shoulder. See if I can turn my head and look over the front shoulder. So the side of your neck. Nice and gentle. Bring it back through center. Other side. So look over the back shoulder first. And then turn your head nice and slow and look over the front shoulder. Maybe your chin can come a little bit towards your shoulder and open up your side neck. Take a deep breath in, lift your chin up. Bring yourself back to center. We're going to find our way over and onto all fours. We're going to walk our hands out beyond our shoulders and slowly rotate on the knees, front to back or side to side as well. So noticing maybe your hips can come way over to one side, to the front and to the back. Be very gentle coming forward and listen to your low back. Let's take it the other direction. And then we're going to press back. We're going to come into extended child's pose. So you could bring your forehead down to the ground and your hands could be out in front. And then maybe lift your fingertips up off the ground and bring them to the sky. You'll feel a nice, sweet little forearm stretch here. Take a deep breath in, bring your fingertips back down. We're going to walk our hands over to the left side, bend to the left, and open up your side body. Take a deep breath in, walk it back through center, other side. Take a deep breath in, walk your hands back to center, coming back and up and into kneeling plank. We're going to curl our toes. We're coming to come into our downward facing dog. Tailbone up to the sky. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring ourselves back down. We're going to sit back onto our heels and give our wrists a little bit of rolling out. You could move your fingers, including your thumb. And then we're going to find our way onto or into a version of side plank. So I'm going to stack my hands right underneath my shoulders. I'm pressing through my whole hand. I'm going to take my one leg back, extending the other leg, and come over into side plank. Option to stay here, option to lift that back leg up. Breathe. Notice your side body active. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring it back down. We're going to do the other side, planting your hand, taking your knee over, using your shin as kind of a kickstand, reaching up. Perhaps lifting that back leg. Pull in your low belly, engage your core. Okay, let's bring it back to center. We're going to walk our hands out again and come into our kneeling plank. Now you can stay here and just kind of shift from one side to the other, letting your hips come over. Otherwise, you could take it into full plank and rotate on the balls of your feet. So we want to press the mat away, protract your shoulder blades, and just kind of start to engage the core, the side body. On your knees can be down. You can just take it side to side. Remember, no pain or sharp shooting or tingling or numbness in the knees. My knees are together, and I'm taking it side to side. Option, plank position. Feet are a little bit hip width apart. Okay, let's bring it down. We're going to come onto one side of the body. So taking your hands and coming onto the side of the body. Actually, let's bring our hand underneath our shoulder. So my knees are stacked. They're bent, and I am bending into the side body. And you might feel a really intense sensation between your ribs here. This is a little bit of a opening up of the ribs, the intercostal muscles. Option to bring your chin to your elbow and breathe. Breathing, staying where you are, that side body, breath. Breathing. Now we're going to take the legs out and we're going to keep the knees bent. And so I'm going to come on to or into a side plank. So I want to walk my hand out a little bit, and then I could lift my upper body, lifting it up. And notice I had to move my arm back actually a little bit so that I'm on my knees. I'm into side plank, and then bring it back down. And then you could lift it back up, and then you could bring it back down. This should not hurt your shoulder. If it hurts your wrist, you could actually do this by coming onto your elbow and then do the side plank from the forearm version of it. So I'm going to stay right here and just lift and hold. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Side plank. Knees bent. Engage my core. Take a deep breath in. Let's bring it back down. We're actually going to go to the other side. Coming over, we're going to come into the side version of the stretching out your rib cage. Apologize here, I'm having music problems. Oops, there we go. Breathing into that rib cage. Okay. Feel your side body. One of the things that's very interesting about this pose is that if I don't do it for a while, then it feels really intense. But if I do it for like a week, every day for a week, then I don't feel anything. So if you're not feeling anything, maybe you could walk your hand out a little bit further and notice that I'm actually doing like a little side bend here into my rib cage. Okay, the version of side plank with your knees together. You could bring your hand underneath. You could lift your pelvis up, and if your arm is not in the right place, you could move it. And then you could bring it back down, lift it back up. And again, if this is too much for your wrists, you can always come down and onto the forearm. Side plank. And bring it back to center. We're going to bring ourselves back onto our knees. Come into our downward dog, curling your toes. Lifting tailbone to sky, pressing into the whole hand. We're going to walk our hands back towards our feet. We're going to tuck our tail and come up and into a standing position. We're going to walk to the front of our mats. Mountain pose. Feel the strength. Shifting your body weight to one foot. Lifting the leg up and then stepping back. Maybe one big step back. This is our warrior pose. This is our pose of the day, Virabhadrasana, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. You want to make sure that your arms are straight out from your shoulders. Now, to get into the side body here, we're going to take that front arm, we're going to take it to the opposite side of your head, and it's just going to lightly rest there. And then you're going to take your other arm up, maybe grab onto the elbow, maybe grab onto the wrist. But we're going to side bend to the back and then look up towards the sky. Bend a little bit more in that leg. Pose of the day, Virabhadrasana 2. Breathe. Take a deep breath in, bring it back to center. We're going to pick up that back leg, turn it, and step it forward. Take a deep breath in. Exhale back down. Shifting. Step back. Virabhadrasana 2, other side, warrior 2. Hand comes to the back of the head. Hand comes to the elbow or to the wrist or to the forearm. And then lengthen the spine up and tip towards the back. Looking up towards the sky. Breathe. Side body opening. Take a deep breath in, bring it back to center, upper body, take your arms out. Turn the back foot, stepping it forward into your mountain pose. Exhale up. We're going to come into chair pose, so sinking your hips back. You could keep your hands at your heart. And then we're going to see if we can just twist to one side. So I'm not going to try to bring my elbow to my knee. That's one variation. But I'm just going to twist. So I'm just going to twist to one side. Maybe I can keep my hands at my sternum. Breathe here. Take a deep breath in, bring it back through center, lengthen the spine, and then exhale into the twist. Just twisting. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Bring it back to center. We're going to stand up. You're going to feel that flood of good hormones, neurotransmitters in our body. And then bring your hands to lightly tap front and back and side. Okay, let's take a deep breath in, come back into your mountain pose. We're going to forward fold. Coming over, you could keep your knees bent. You could use blocks here. Now, we're going to walk our hands over to one side, and then we're going to bend deeply into that leg that's on that side, and then straighten the other leg. So I'm moving my hands out here to the left. My right leg is straightened a little bit, and my left knee is bent. So it's a little bit more intense stretch. And then we have the opening of your side. Let's bend both knees, walk your hands back through center, coming to the other side. One knee bent, one leg straight. See if you can breathe into your rib cage. Take a deep breath in, bend both knees, bring it back to center. Now we're going to step back. So one foot and then the other foot. Coming into all fours. And then we're going to do a little side body movement where we're going to bring our knee to our elbow, one side, and then across body. So it looks like this. The knee comes to the elbow, and then I bring it straight back, and I'm not going to throw it up into the air. And then I bring it across and to the other elbow. So this wants to be controlled. You don't want to take your leg too far back to the back and throw it up there because you could injure your low back. So nice and strong. A cross body. This can be done using full plank. So if you're up on full plank, your knee comes to your elbow, then it brings it back, and then across the body, and then back. So you can decide whether you want to be on your knees or if you want to be up in full plank. Breathe as you exhale, bring that knee in, send it back, other side. Okay, let's take a little break here. You can come into child's pose. An option here is wide-legged child with thread the needle. So you might be able to take one arm underneath. You could then dome up your fingers on that side, on the other side, and then look underneath your armpit. Little gentle twist. And then unwind the spine. Hand comes back down underneath. Fingertips to the ground. Look underneath your armpit. Breathe. Okay, we have other side to do. Planting your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. They're hip width apart. We're going to take the other knee to the elbow and then up and then across and then up. Breathing with it. Remembering that we could come into full plank. I'm going to stay right here. Just a few more. One more set. Wide-legged child's pose. Forehead down to the ground. Arm can come under. Could dome up your hand, coming onto your finger pads, looking underneath your armpit. Bring it back to center. Let's do the other side. Okay, let's bring it out. We're going to sit up onto our heels and then come over onto one hip. Okay, sitting here in mermaid's pose, one leg back, the other leg in front. We're going to plant that hand on the side of the front leg, and then we're going to press and come up, and then open up the side body. So it's like it's a press, a shooting up. Breathe. One more time. Okay. That back leg is going to come out. And we're going to straighten the leg. If you have any sensitivity to the back of your knee, you could put a pillow here. We're going to turn towards that front leg. And then we're going to side bend. And we're going to see if we can reach maybe opposite arm across. Maybe it can reach towards your shin. Maybe to the foot. And you want to feel on your low back the opposite side, that side with the knee bent, stretching out the low back. Wherever you are, just breathe nice and deep. And then as you come up, make sure you keep your spine long. Let's take it to the other side, mermaid's pose, other leg back. Planting the hand. Inhale, exhale. One more time. Back leg comes out. Bring your foot into your thigh. Turn towards the front of turn your shoulders towards that front leg. And then maybe reach across. Grabbing your ankle, your shin. You could be up here. Just want to see if we can find a stretch in that low back. Should feel nice. Okay, we're going to slowly come up. It's time for final relaxation. So if there's anything that you would like to do before we lay ourselves on the ground, notice if your body feels like you've opened it up a little bit, specifically in the side body. You could touch it, your rib cage. It's really important to actually make sure that you're not using a pillow when you come into final relaxation, because we want our head to be resting on the ground at the same height as your spine. And laying on the ground without a pillow might feel a little weird to begin with, but it's going to feel weird with the pillow after you do this for a while. So just try it if you've been using something to support your head. Again, bringing your breath into the side. The ribs opening up. Expansion. Letting the breath breathe you. Taking this opportunity to totally focus on the present moment, coming into a meditative state of mind where everything appears and disappears. Appearance of sound, disappearance. Appearance of thoughts as they arise and dissipate. Appearance of emotions. And staying here for as long as you like. If you're coming with me, we're going to roll over onto one side of our body. Noticing which side you rolled over on. Which side is face down, which side is towards the sky. And let's use our hands and press up. The seated position. Sitting up nice and tall. You could bring your hands together and thank yourself for coming to today's practice. Thanking each other for being here as well on this journey, on this planet. Namaste.